Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and welcome to my Q&A session for Tuesday the 7th of December 2010. Now this particular video I'm answering questions that were posted on the 23rd of November and also some questions I received via my iPhone app. A little bit of a different setup for you today. Hopefully this is a bit more personal for you. Lets you see me on camera every now and again as well. So let's kick things off with some of the questions I've received. Now the first one is regarding the actual iPhone app. A lot of people are enjoying watching my videos with the iPhone app, and I've had a question here from Dell 11700, and that viewer is asking am I going to be doing an Android based app for the videos? Well, I have looked into developing an Android app. It is something that I definitely want to do, but when I actually put some feelers out with developers, quotes came back to me and they ranged from anything between £1,500 and £15,000. Can you believe it? 15 grand for having an app developed. Now, maybe they can justify those sort of prices, maybe they do a very good job, but I'm going to have to find a cheaper way of doing it. So please just keep watching out for it. It's something I definitely intend to do. I've also had a very similar question, and this one came from Jota Pocoyo. Dave, can you do a Geekanoids app for Symbian? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but that is something that I probably won't be doing. There are obviously YouTube viewers that you can get for the Symbian platform, but I won't be developing an app for the Symbian platform. So sorry to disappoint on that front. Now, moving on, let's just get the next question. Next one is from Jacob96 Eden. Will you get Andrew back on your channel to do another guest review? He did a really good job reviewing the Nariv case. Well, yeah, I agree with you there. Andrew did an exemplary job with that Nariv iPad case. It's something that I certainly would like to look at. I've got quite a few guest reviews that have appeared on the Geekanoids channel over the past year, and certainly Andrew is still on my list, so keep your eyes peeled, maybe you will see him in a future review. Next question is from, well, not particularly a question, it's more of a comment from Seterafan123. Very cool video, I love the audio. You should start a podcast like you had in the beginning. Well, for those of you who don't know, when I did first start doing reviews, I did have a podcast that was available on the iTunes store. Now, I stopped doing that mainly because I got too busy with other things, but certainly in the future, I may well look at starting up either an audio or a video podcast again. So again, keep an eye out for that. It might happen when time allows me to do it. It might not, but certainly something I will consider doing. So great comment there from Seterafan. Next question comes from Mantic John. Can you give some tips on how to get into the graphic design industry? Well, that's a very hard question. A lot of people are self-taught. Some people do degrees in graphic design. One way I would suggest getting involved is if you happen to have some sort of design software on your computer, be it sort of Adobe Photoshop or Quark Express or InDesign, then practice and more practice and do some designs for friends and family. Maybe offer up free design services to local churches or charities, and that way you'll get known for doing sort of good work, and maybe that's a way in to get into sort of graphic design industry. So very good question. Next question is well, I've got lots of comments asking for these bloopers videos. I will certainly consider doing a bloopers video. I've got plenty of mistakes. I make loads of them throughout my videos. In fact, some of my reviews, you might see like a 6 to 10 minute review. That might have taken me 30 to 40 minutes to get that down onto video because I make so many mistakes. I will save some of those up, and at some stage, I can't promise when, but at some stage I will publish a bloopers video. Next one is from Sam Louis 54321. He's asking what I think about Android Gingerbread. Well, I haven't really read up a great deal on it, but I do think that Google are going in the right direction with Android. Every single update that they release is certainly a big improvement. As you probably all know, I gave up my iPhone 4 and I now run an Android phone, an HTC Desire HD, and I really like the Android platform, and I think Gingerbread will bring some further improvements along the way. That's all I can really say on that subject though, so let's move on. Next one, Surfer knows, do you think the next iMac will have a touchscreen or any other new specifications? Well, the new iMacs I think will come out probably beginning of next year. Maybe we might have to wait 2 or 3 months into 2011 to see them. Not so sure if they're going to put touchscreen on the iMac. I know things seem to be going that way, but I couldn't think of anything worse than having a nice 21.5 inch or 27 inch screen and having it covered in fingerprints and smudges. So I don't think they go along that route. What they might do is perhaps expand their Magic Trackpad and make that into some sort of small sort of touchscreen device with a new product launch. And with regards going back to the actual iMac specifications, I think we're just going to see faster iMacs. I think we'll see SSD options across the range rather than just the top end 27 inch range. And I think they just improve it that way. They have stopped producing just recently the wired compact keyboards, so you can only get the full size wired keyboard. Other than that, it's all wireless, so I think they're going to be pushing the boundaries of wireless. I think we will also see USB 3 in the new iMacs as well. So thanks very much for that question. Next question is from Love Heart Agra Metal. Quick question, would you suggest going for a Mac laptop over a Windows one, considering I already have a Windows desktop but do like Macs and OS X? Well, I think a laptop is a good entry into the Mac platform. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can pick up a white MacBook for around about the sort of £790 mark, or even one of these MacBook Airs that I'm using at the moment. You can pick one of those up for around about £850, and that will give you a great introduction into Mac OS X, or even go second hand. You can get a refurb Mac for a lot cheaper as well, or even a Mac Mini. That will give you a good introduction into Mac OS X. But you said you're looking for a laptop, so I'd certainly consider either the 13-inch white MacBook, the MacBook Pro, or the MacBook Air. And I think, yeah, doesn't really matter if you've got a Windows-based desktop. If you want to get into Mac OS X, then it certainly won't disappoint if you buy one of Apple's laptops. So great question. Next one is from, where are we? Here we go. This is from Awesome Gaming. Hey Dave, I told my dad to get the orange San Francisco mobile phone yesterday because he needed a new phone. We got it home, connected it to Wi-Fi, started looking at the features. We checked the balance and he had already spent around £10 and we hadn't bought any apps. It was connected via Wi-Fi and we only did one call for 30 seconds, but yeah, it cost £10 of your sort of top up, because this is a pay-as-you-go phone, so you actually put balance on your account. Well, my guess is what probably happened is my orange San Francisco that I reviewed did actually have a problem with it dropping Wi-Fi connection. Now, I know there is a fix available now. There's things that you can download, or an app you can download to help with this Wi-Fi dropping. I personally think that your phone was probably dropping Wi-Fi and therefore using your data connection with your mobile phone provider. I'm assuming you bought it on Orange, and this is what ate into your £10 credit. It does check for emails regularly and things like that, and maybe you were looking at internet, maybe you were doing some sort of other surfing or emails, etc., and this would have taken out of your £10 initial credit that you had on the phone. So my guess is that's what happened. If it was dropping Wi-Fi and you can prove it, then get in touch with Orange, explain to them you connected via Wi-Fi and you think it was dropping the Wi-Fi connection, and you really do want them to refund that £10 top up. They might do it, they might not, but it's certainly worth asking. So very valid question, and thanks very much for posting that one. Next one, well, it's much the same question from Game Muffin TV. Do you think Apple will release new iMacs to go alongside the new Lion OS? If so, will it be on the design, the screen size, the hardware inside? Thanks. Well, I've already probably answered what I think is going to happen with the new iMacs. With regards to the new Lion OS, which is coming summer 2011, I think the new iMacs will come slightly before then. I'm expecting between January and March for new iMacs, so before the Lion OS. And I already covered what I think will happen with the iMacs. I think the screen sizes stay the same. I think they'll be faster, USB 3, and also the introduction of SSD across the range as well. That's my guess for the new iMacs. Okay, and the next question comes from Geek Show TV. Can you do a tutorial on how you edit your show, or how do you edit a show? Well, I will look at doing that in the near future. For those of you who don't know, I use, you can see it behind me actually, I've got a Mac Pro connected to dual external displays there, and I use Adobe Premiere mainly now for all of my editing. I've got a very good workflow, I think, and at some stage I'll show you how I actually get the footage from the video camera into Adobe Premiere and then edit and export a file that I then upload to the YouTube channel. So yeah, certainly very good question. I will try and do some sort of tutorial or walkthrough on how I put a show together. So thanks very much for that question and suggestion for a future video. Now I'm going to move on to the questions I received via my iPhone application. Now the first one is from Garrett. Quick question, whenever I got my iPhone 4 for my birthday and I opened it up, inside the box I couldn't find the SIM card removal tool that is usually provided by Apple. How did you get one in your box, and if not, why do you think they didn't provide it? Well, my guess on this one, I'm not sure, Garrett, where you actually live, but in the UK our iPhones are supplied SIM-free unlocked, so you can get a SIM card from any network provider and pop it into the phone. So they provide this small, it looks like a little paper clip, much nicer than a paper clip, to actually remove the SIM card holder and pop your SIM card in. My guess is if you're in another country where it's locked to a particular network, they're not going to encourage you to swap SIM cards and change networks, so you're going to have the SIM card already installed in the iPhone 4. So that's my guess as to why you didn't get one. If anyone else knows different, pop it in the comments and I'll certainly be very happy to learn which country you're in and if you got that SIM card removal tool or not. Next question is from Chris. How do you change the app screen wallpaper for iPod Touch? Well, I've got an iPod Touch here. Let me just come round to the camera and I shall show you how I actually change it. So this is my iPod Touch. Let me just unlock the screen, put my code in. So here we go, this is the iPod Touch, and I just hit settings, then on wallpaper, and then here I've got the two screens, the lock screen and also the app screen, and tap on there. I can choose from the camera roll, so perhaps I want to choose this one here, and then I can choose to set it, and I can set it either for the lock screen or the home screen or both. Well, let's do it just for the home screen, and it says set, and then when I go back up to my app screen I've got that new wallpaper actually installed. So there you go. So just to recap, just in settings, and then it's actually in the wallpaper option within the settings. So I hope that's helped you. Let me go back round to my questions, and I hope that's helped you out, Chris. Next one is from Usman or Usman. What is Windows Home Server, and is it worth buying and installing on an old spare? Well, I'm not that clued up on Windows Home Server, but basically it's a operating system that allows you to put files onto a sort of a central storage location, and it offers up all sorts of tools regarding sharing, setting up sort of accessibility for certain users. And HP do these media smart servers as well. I used to have one in the Geekanoids office to review, and that gave you all sorts of sort of iTunes server options and different applications that you could use for sharing different types of media across your network. Now I know that Windows recently changed Windows Home Server and they've taken out a lot of the features for the new releases, and I'm not really clued up on it, but as to whether it's worth putting it onto maybe an old PC or a spare, yeah, sure, that's certainly a great way to go. If you've got a couple of hard drives you can stick in an old PC and put Windows Home Server on it, I'm sure it will give you a lot of functionality that you wouldn't have from just a simple NAS device. If it was me, I would go for something like a Synology disk station, which allows you to share your files and media across your network anyway without having to get into all the nitty gritty of dealing with Windows Home Server. But that's just me. For you, it might well differ. You might need the extra tools that Windows Home Server offers. So thanks very much for that question. The next one is from George. Is the Panasonic Lumix TZ10 a good camera, as I've seen many great reviews about it? Well, yeah, the Panasonic Lumix range, fantastic cameras, and the TZ10 offers up brilliant photography features and excellent HD movie recording as well. It's very high up on the list of the best cameras available, so well worth checking out. Next one comes from Robin. Do you think the next iPad will feature a Retina display, i.e. the same screen as the iPhone 4 and 4th gen iPod Touch? Well, to be honest, I don't think it will feature the same IPS Retina display as the iPhone 4, but I do think that the next iteration of the iPad will have a higher resolution screen. I think it will go up to sort of 1280 by 800 resolution, or possibly even higher, and they may well just have sort of a higher pixel density on new iPads. So I certainly do think they will make some changes there. So the next question is also from Robin. If you could keep only one Apple product, what would it be? Well, up until a couple of weeks back, it would have probably been my iPod Touch, because I really do like this a lot. I also really like my Apple TV as well. But things have changed. As you probably all know from the channel, I did get hold of a MacBook Air, and if I could keep only one product now, I would keep this MacBook Air, and I'll tell you why. One, it's ultra light and portable. Is a very good performer. I could even just about manage doing all my video production on here if I needed to, and I would choose a laptop over a desktop any day. So in answer to your question, if I could keep only one and I have to get rid of everything else, I would keep the MacBook Air. It's a fantastic laptop from Apple, and it performs better than you think. A lot of people think this Core 2 Duo processor that they've stuck with in the MacBook Air means it's not going to perform as great as a Core i5 or Core i7 MacBook Pro. Well, to a certain degree that's true. It's not going to have the raw processing power, but it feels very snappy and does an extremely good job, runs silently as well. Battery life is absolutely fantastic, so I would choose the MacBook Air. So thanks very much for that question, Robin. Really good question. And the last one for this Q&A session comes from Miles. Where did you get your iYama monitors from that you use for the Mac Pro, and how much did they cost? Well, Miles, you can see my iYama monitors behind me here. I've got two of them here, and the model number, just for those of you who don't know, is the E2472HD. They're LED backlit 24-inch monitors. They run at 1920 by 1080 resolution, and I've been extremely happy with them. They got a DVI connection on the back and an HDMI connection, so I could, if I wanted to, connect a game console or something to that second connection as well. Where did I get them from? I got them from Scan Technology in the UK. They didn't give me any discount or anything. I just bought them because I needed them for production. They're not review models, they're simply for me to do my work on, and they cost me around about £162. Now you can find Scan's website at scan.co.uk, and they're a company that I use for quite a few bits that I buy in, but mainly for hard drive purchases. They do really good prices on hard drives, and these were really good prices as well. So they're from scan.co.uk. Well, that concludes this Q&A session. The next Q&A session will be around about the 21st 1st of December. That will be the last one for 2010. So please do keep an eye on the Geekanoids channel for that. And if you like my content, as always, I urge you to subscribe. If you've got any comments or questions that you want answered for the next Q&A session, please do pop them in the comment section below this video. Thank you very much for participating, and until next time, have a great day. This video review is sponsored by EasyDraw, making drawing fun on Mac OS X.